I have been coaching players from all sorts of different ranks for well over a year now. This is summed up to around 300 to 400 TFT coaching sessions in total, and in this video, I will break down the most common mistakes at every rank, as well as explaining how a lot of my clients in those ranks were able to get through to a higher one. Iron players are either new to the game or they don't have an understanding of the basics. Just learning simple things like how interest gold works and a basic leveling and econ pattern will get you out of this elo, and just building big synergies like 6 Forgotten, 6 Redeemed, 6 Dawnbringers, or 6 Nightbringer will get you out of this rank as well. Bronze players have a better understanding of economy management, but it is still lacking. So here you want to manage your gold better and learn basic strategies like the Fast 8. You also want to learn one comp that you can force every game, and one that is pretty easy to play is Skirmisher Jax, so I would recommend that one to any newer player out there. Once you've got to silver, you should keep playing one comp and then start learning the early game, as well as some basic itemization strategies. If you know how to play the early game, the rest of the game becomes a lot easier to play. Also, just make items and get familiar with all of them. A general rule I follow is to make an item if I have 4 or more components. The reasoning behind this is that you will get more value out of suboptimal items you have throughout the entire game than getting great items you only build at the very end of the game. Once you get to gold, you have a decent understanding of economy management, and you are getting better at playing one comp. From here, it's all about still learning the ins and outs of your main comp while continuing to get better at the early and mid game. Once you have a decent understanding of the early game, mid game, economy management, items, and one comp, you should be able to get out of gold. In Platinum, the game starts becoming a lot harder for most people. This is because most people in Platinum have watched a guide or two on how to play the game and implemented it well. In other words, there aren't any clueless players here. Most people have a good understanding of the game and how to play 1 or 2 comps, but what they mainly struggle with is scouting and positioning. You can very easily punish Platinum players if you scout and position yourself. Another thing they're bad at is transitioning. A lot of the time it will take them 2, 3, or even 4 full turns before they have successfully transitioned their board. This means that you're essentially open forting your entire board for multiple turns, and you never want to do this, and if there's one skill that gives pretty clear results, it's being able to transition properly with good speed. Once you've gotten to Diamond, you start getting pretty good at the game. Your econ is generally good, your early and mid game is good as well, and there are 3 main things that Diamond players need to learn. And the first thing is being able to transition within 1 turn and 2 turns if you're doing a full transition. If you're ever going to be able to keep up with master players, you have to be quick enough or you will take way too much damage towards the late game. The second thing is being able to adapt your comp towards the lobby. This is crucial for being able to clutch out wins or just getting a higher placement on average. This also requires you to be good at scouting while also having a good understanding of the comp you're playing. You need to know which units are core for the build and which you can cut. Sometimes it's not correct to play 4 Mystics against an AP lobby, as you need to play to your comp's win condition. Another thing Diamond players need to work on is how to plan out your future turns. Once you have your level 3 board established, what does your level 4, 5, and 6 want to look like? Which units fit well into your current board, and how can you transition this into a mid-game board and also into a late-game board? With every unit you are holding on the bench, have a good reasoning for it. Personally, I have been jumping between Masters, GM, and Challenger ever since set 3. In set 3 I was able to hit Challenger, but in set 3.5 I was hard stuck Grandmaster and got very close to Challenger a couple of times, but never close enough to make the cutoff. And then in set 4 I was never able to get any higher than low Masters. When set 4.5 came out, I was able to hit Challenger again, and in set 5 I've been jumping in and out of GM like crazy. So what are the differences between a Challenger, a Grandmaster, and a Master player? When I have been Challenger, there's only 2 things that I do differently. The first thing is having a great understanding of the current meta on a patch, and having truly mastered a comp or 2 that plays well into that meta. I am generally never that great at 1 or 2 comps, as I have to learn all of them pretty well in order to be a good coach and also to make guides for all of them. Which is why I generally tend to push for a high rank towards the latter part of a set, as I actually have time to get a deep understanding of some of those comps at that point. The second thing might sound silly, but for me it really matters, and that is how much fun I'm having with a set or on a patch. Set 4 was a clear showcase of this. I didn't get worse at TFT, I just did not enjoy set 4 that much. But I enjoyed set 4.5 a lot more and therefore also performed a lot better in that set, so I would say that there is a clear correlation between your rank and how much you're enjoying a patch or set. The point I'm trying to hammer home here is that you need to have a good mental game in order to climb. If you're tilted or not 100% focused, you will play a lot worse than if you're excited, focused, and ready to get into every game. Now all of this is what I see with the majority of my clients, so understand that your situation might be a bit different. I have coached a Platinum player that was better at playing the early and mid game than most Diamond players, but they were just terrible when it came to playing the late game and were never able to clutch out wins. I've also had Diamond players that were incredibly good at playing the late game, and they never lost if they got their comp online. However, their early and mid game was pretty bad, and for them it was very hard to get to the endgame comp while still having enough HP. So understand that this is what people generally struggle with, but your situation might differ a little bit. I've also made a video where I go over my step-by-step process, where I cover how I climbed from Silver to Master in a single set, and if you're interested in hitting Masters or just getting a higher rank, I definitely recommend you go watch that video after this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what video you want me to make next, and if you want to get better at TFT, join the Discord. We got over 3,000 other players there who are hungry to climb, and if you want to get coached by me, the information is over on the Discord server as well. So take care, and see you in the next video.